If we was to fight right now on the streets, I'll break your fucking neck. And that's on my kids. And you know it, I know it, and the whole world know it. And I'm not talking about no fighting in the ring. If me and you was to fight outside, I will break your...
The London Ring Awards was set to be a dazzling celebration of boxing's elite, a night where the sport's brightest stars gathered to revel in their achievements. Yet, amidst the glamour and star-studded guest list, one glaring absence became the talk of the event: Gervonta Davis. While the red carpet was graced by some of the biggest names in boxing, Davis's no-show quickly stole the spotlight, sparking controversy and speculation. Tank Davis, known for his explosive knockout power and unapologetic personality, didn't remain silent for long. Taking to social media, he unleashed a fiery tirade aimed at everyone from Eddie Hearn to Riyadh season organizers, with Terence "Bud" Crawford also finding himself in Tank's crosshairs.
I like what he's about. He's all about making the big fights happen, and I'm all for that, you know. But I've got a team, you know, I've got a professional team with me, and everything is organized.
Davis's frustration stemmed from being left off the invite list, a snub that he clearly didn't take lightly. "Why didn't they invite everybody?" Davis wrote in a now-deleted post. "But they invited people they deal with about here. Stop pretending." The posts, though removed shortly after, were captured by fans and media, spreading like wildfire across the boxing world. Davis's words were sharp, unfiltered, and brimming with resentment. In another post, Davis took direct aim at Eddie Hearn, branding him a little rat and accusing him of pretending to wield more influence in the boxing world than he truly has. The lightweight champion didn't stop there. He turned his attention to Riyadh season organizers, heavily criticizing their involvement in boxing. Without naming names, Davis wrote, "They want to act like this guy is good for boxing when he's not. Why isn't he building up the people where he's from? This guy knows nothing about boxing, and this is who they're turning to." Fans quickly connected the dots, interpreting Tank's comments as a critique of Saudi Arabia's growing influence in the sport. Perhaps the most incendiary part of Davis's rant was his swipe at fighters who accept lucrative deals to fight overseas, particularly in Saudi Arabia.
That fight, is it even possible at a catch weight?
There ain't no catch weight. You come up to 47.
Not even entertaining a catch weight.
No, I'm not.
He's a champ though too, undefeated.
Unlike me, he wrote, a lot of these fighters will leave home to fight for Saudi money, but in the end, what do they get? Barely anyone shows up to watch their fights. The statement, dripping with disdain, seemed to mock fighters who've taken big money deals to fight abroad, fueling an already heated debate within the boxing community. Davis's comments divided fans and insiders alike. Some agreed with his critiques, arguing that boxing's increasing globalization, especially in places like Saudi Arabia, could compromise the sport's authenticity. Others, however, labeled Davis as bitter and jealous over being excluded from the London Ring Awards.
Yeah. Come on, man, tell me what belt. You know boxing. You forgot Devin Haney is undisputed. Devin Haney got all the belts. He the champ. Nobody else the champ. I'm gonna come up here where the big boys at. All right, I'll welcome him.
One person who didn't hold back in responding was Terence "Bud" Crawford, the undisputed welterweight champion. Having attended the awards and met with prominent figures like Turki Al-Sheikh, Crawford took to social media to address Davis's outburst. "I see somebody mad they weren't invited to the Ring magazine gala," Crawford quipped. The jab added fuel to the fire, reigniting tensions between the two fighters. The bad blood between Crawford and Davis is nothing new. After Crawford's dominant victory over Errol Spence Jr., Davis had claimed he could beat Crawford at 147 pounds.
Can do whatever y'all want. My mother, he can't stop nothing over here. None of that. Not at all. Tell him I'm gonna f him up. Not at all. Never.
Crawford's response at the time was calm but cutting, and this latest exchange only deepens the rivalry. Fans are now speculating whether the tension between the two could lead to an eventual showdown in the ring, though the weight disparity remains a significant hurdle. Terence Davis may be one of the most powerful fighters in boxing, but it seems he's not afraid to stir the pot. In a recent interview, Davis took aim at his longtime rival Terence "Bud" Crawford, claiming that if Crawford thinks he can come up to 147 pounds and just knock him out,
"Who's got my money, Bud Crawford or Tank Davis?" You guys are fighting over this on Twitter, calling each other names and liars, and you're capping and you're a hate.
He's mistaken. The back and forth between the two champions has sparked widespread speculation about a potential showdown, but the chances of Davis versus Crawford happening anytime soon are slim. Crawford has his sights set on a much bigger target, a rumored mega fight with Canelo Alvarez.
Well, I respect Tank. Hey, Tank, you got a new fan, dog. You got a new fan. You a real one, dog. As of late, you've been showing me you a real one. I like that. Yes, you've been showing me that you are a real one. Now, if you go over there and take back everything you said, you kissed.
After reportedly meeting with Turki Alalia during the London Ring Awards, sources indicate that Crawford is closing in on a deal to face the Mexican superstar later this year, a matchup that would be one of the most anticipated in recent boxing history.
Tank faced Crawford. Tank said he'd stop Crawford in 6 rounds. What happens if they were to fight?
I don't think Tank will stop Crawford. I think that that's a big bully up there at 147.
Meanwhile, Davis is preparing for his own fight, as he's set to face Lamont Roach Jr. on March 1st. While many expect Tank to come out on top, his recent actions have shown that he's concerned with more than just what happens in the ring. Tank's social media outbursts have drawn attention, particularly his criticism of the London Ring Awards. He accused the organizers of ignoring true talent in the sport.
I mean, Canelo's the king. Whatever he say, you know what I'm saying? But it's a good fight. I like to see that fight, the outcome of it, you know what I'm saying? And then watching Canelo been making some good moves, you know, as far as fights and whatnot, you know. So, again, he's the king, you know what I'm saying? So
it didn't look like...
Claiming that they only care about fighters they can control, while others like him are overlooked. Critics have argued that Davis is simply upset about being snubbed, considering he's one of the biggest names in boxing. But his supporters believe he's calling out an unfair system in the sport, and they admire him for it. On the other hand, Crawford seems unfazed by the drama. His focus is on his upcoming challenges, and he isn't letting Tank's comments derail his plans. Despite Crawford laughing off Davis's criticism, the possibility of a fight between the two remains enticing. Both fighters are highly skilled, albeit in different ways. Davis with his explosive power and relentless aggression, and Crawford with his sharp technical skills and high ring IQ. If they ever faced off, it would undoubtedly be a clash of styles that fans would talk about for years. For now, however, fans will have to focus on the upcoming fights for both men. Davis's bout with Roach is expected to deliver some exciting action, while Crawford's potential showdown with Canelo would be a monumental event.
Likelihood of a fight with you and Terence Crawford, it would be one of the biggest in boxing.
We're not talking about yet about the fight. Me and you're gonna know each other, and then we wanna see what.
But even as these highly anticipated fights draw nearer, the war of words between Davis and Crawford is far from over. What makes all of this even more interesting is Davis's earlier announcement that he plans to retire by 2025. Last year, during a press conference, Davis stated that he didn't plan to fight beyond that date, saying, "I've given my all to this sport, but I have other things I want to do in life." This raises the question, if Davis is preparing to retire soon, why does he care so much about being excluded from the awards show? It's a question that has fans scratching their heads, and only Tank can provide an answer. Scribner. Davis didn't stop there. He also took aim at Crawford's claims of chasing greatness, questioning whether the welterweight champion's financial motivations were more important than his quest for legacy. "I still make more than you," Davis posted.
I like what he's about. He's all about making the big fights happen, and I'm all for that, you know. But I've got a team, you know, I've got a professional team with me, and everything is organized.
Suggesting that Crawford's earnings weren't as impressive as they appeared. Y'all think he's chasing greatness? He's not. That's what he has to do to make decent money. These biting words painted Crawford as a fighter who's more focused on securing paychecks from big fights than building a lasting legacy in the sport. It wasn't just a casual dig, it was an all-out attack on Crawford's reputation, and it's clear that Davis isn't afraid to challenge his rival's motives head-on. Davis hasn't held back with his opinions on the rumored fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, and his critique hasn't gone unnoticed. Davis has made it clear that he believes the potential showdown between Crawford and Canelo isn't about true competition, but rather about Crawford chasing a lucrative payday. It's not just Davis who's expressing doubts. His trainer Calvin Ford has also shared his skepticism regarding Crawford's ability and intentions when it comes to stepping in the ring with someone like Canelo. In an interview with Fight Hype, Ford acknowledged the magnitude of a potential Crawford-Canelo bout, but leaned towards Canelo as the likely winner. "Canelo is the king," Ford said, showing respect for the Mexican superstar's legacy.
That fight, is it even possible at a catch weight?
Nah, ain't no catch weight. You come up to 47.
You're not even entertaining a catch weight.
No, I'm not.
He's a champ though too, undefeated.
And,
However, Ford also raised concerns about Crawford's recent performance. He noted that Crawford's move up to 154 pounds to face Israel Madrimov was closely watched, and while Crawford won the fight, he didn't deliver the dominant performance many expected. It was his first fight at that weight. You can't say he didn't carry the power up there, but he had to make adjustments, Ford explained. Both Davis and Ford's remarks suggest that Crawford's decision isn't purely about legacy. It's about money as well. This perspective only intensifies the ongoing debate surrounding the Crawford-Canelo fight.
Yeah. Come on, man. Tell me what belt. You know boxing. You forgot Devin Haney is undisputed. Devin Haney got all the belts. He the champ. Nobody else the champ. I'm going to come up here where the big boys at. All right. I'll welcome him.
Is Crawford genuinely chasing greatness by taking on one of boxing's biggest names? Or is he making a calculated move to secure a major payday as his career enters its later years? For Davis and Ford, the answer seems clear. They believe that Crawford's decisions are as much about securing his financial future as they are about cementing his place in boxing history. Ford's emphasis on Crawford's age and the urgency to make big moves further underscores this point. While there's no denying Crawford's talent, Davis and Ford's critiques highlight a growing divide in how fighters approach their careers. Some are chasing greatness through dominance and consistency, while others are seeking legacy-defining fights that come with massive paydays. This isn't the first time Crawford's motivations have been questioned, but with Davis and Ford now weighing in, the controversy surrounding the potential Canelo fight has only grown. Whether fans agree with Davis and Ford or side with Crawford's defenders, one thing is certain: the boxing world will be watching closely to see how this story plays out.
Who's got more money, Bud Crawford or Tank Davis? You guys are fighting over this on Twitter, calling each other names and liars, and you're capping and you're a hate.
Meanwhile, the idea of a future matchup between Tank Davis and Terence Crawford continues to spark conversations among fans and experts alike. Both fighters have cemented their legacies in boxing, dominating their respective weight classes at different times. While they are currently separated by 3 weight divisions, the hypothetical clash between the two has intrigued many, and one legendary voice offering insight into what such a fight might look like is none other than Roy Jones Jr. As Terence Crawford continues to dominate in the welterweight division, his rise through the ranks began at lightweight, where Gervonta "Tank" Davis currently reigns as a world champion. Crawford made history by becoming the undisputed champion at super lightweight, a division in which Davis has also claimed a title. Most recently, Crawford made his debut at 154 pounds, further solidifying his status as one of boxing's top pound-for-pound fighters. Speaking with Real Life Productions, Jones offered a perspective that might surprise many. "That's a good damn fight," Jones said, immediately drawing attention.
Well, I respect Tank. Hey, Tank, you got a new fan, dog. You got a new fan. You a real one, dog. As of late, you've been showing me you a real one. I like that. Yes, you've been showing me that you are a real one. Now, if you go over there and take back everything you said, you kiss.
The former multi-division champion acknowledged the size difference, but suggested that if the fight were to take place at a catch weight around 145 pounds, it could be highly competitive. Jones pointed out that both Crawford and Davis possess qualities that could make this hypothetical bout intriguing. "I don't see anybody around that's going to beat Bud, unless it's somebody way bigger than him. But don't sleep on the fact that if he and Tank fought at about 145, that's a good damn fight," Jones remarked. He added that Davis's explosiveness, the key attribute that sets him apart, could make things interesting. Jones stressed that explosiveness in boxing can help even the playing field between fighters of different sizes. Currently, Crawford is eyeing a historic showdown with super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez, a bold move that would see him jump up 14 pounds in weight. This speaks to Crawford's desire to solidify his legacy as one of the all-time greats. Meanwhile, Davis has announced plans to retire by the end of the year, with a fight against Lamont Roach Jr. scheduled for March. If Davis sticks to his retirement timeline, a potential clash with Crawford will remain just that, a hypothetical. For now, fans can only imagine what might unfold if these two ever crossed paths. What do you think? Could Tank's explosiveness pose a challenge for Crawford? And what does the future hold for boxing with the growing influence of Saudi Arabia in the sport? Share your thoughts and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates.